What's good, YouTube? This your man Spill Dog. You know, man, I just seen a interview Terrence Crawford did a while back, and he was talking about how at one time he had got sick of boxing. He had just was like, he was ready to quit. He said he just got to the point where he hated boxing. He said he had lost all the love for it. He said, but Bomac, kept him on the straight and narrow. Said, don't worry about it. He said he was telling Bomac, man, fuck boxing. And Bomac was like, just don't worry about it. Just keep on. Just stick with it. And he stuck with it. And look at him now. I think that's what Tank at right now with the sport. I think Tank tired of all the politics and all the chat on social media, especially since that Lamont Roach fight. I think Tank was with Floyd when he first started, so he was getting love right there just for being Floyd new up and coming champion, superstar, a guy who Floyd co-signed all the way, backed him all the way. Floyd, AB both co-signed, vouched for Tank as far as who he was in the ring and putting him on Mayweather undercards, knocking dudes out. It got him popular fast, because a lot of people got to see him by him being the co-main event, or the fight right before the main event. Everybody pretty much there by that time. Most people start getting to the fight around the end of that of the fight before the co-main event. Definitely in that co-main event fight, most of the people there and everybody, a lot of people got to see him that probably wouldn't have saw him if he would have went another route. But the route he went got him popular pretty fast, and pretty much his entire career, for the most part, Tank ain't really seen nothing but love from the fans. First it was Floyd, big up on him. Then, Floyd protected him when he didn't take tough fights. Floyd was the one in front of the camera, talking about it, making whatever the excuse was or reason, whichever one you want to call it. But he was the one making it where it was easy for him to not take them fights and not really get pressed too hard about it, because Mayweather was taking all that pressure off him. He didn't really have to speak on why he fight this guy, that guy. Floyd spoke on it. And at that time, Floyd word was law pretty much, because it was either when he was boxing or right when soon as he quit. So at that time, Floyd was the king, was the only king, was the king of the hill, still is to some degree. So that helped Tank get a lot of love quick. And then once Tank left, he had already became a star when he was with Mayweather Promotions. Once he left the money team, he took Leonard Ellerby too. He took all his fans, his popularity, and he was doing his own thing now. Had a great fight against Frank Martin, knockout, took care of the press conferences. He has gotten real comfortable in front of the camera. He was a little shy for the first couple of years, but you could tell he got it now. He 100% good. He don't need nobody to go out there and try to help him not, say the wrong thing. He know how to handle himself out there with the press alone. He don't need no help with him no more. But I think the negative press is something. This was his first time getting it. After the fight with Lamont Roach, a lot of guys had a lot to say. I mean, rightfully so. That fight, one, it wasn't his best fight. Then the bullshit that happened where he got, the knockdown and getting his face wiped, all that shit, while the fight was going on. It wasn't his fault that the ref didn't do his job, but he the one getting all the smoke coming to Tank, and he ain't used to it. He used to love, it's gonna be a few haters out there, but the guys who was on this that still rock with him, and they was talking about it too, but that don't mean the guy don't rock with him no more. That's what Tank don't. I don't know if he understand that or not, but people was wondering what happened. We used to, now I knew Lamont Roach would be a tough fight. A lot of people did, but a whole lot of people didn't. They thought he was just gonna come in there and walk through, dude. And a lot of people don't know about Lamont Roach. He ain't a household name yet. But people that's into boxing, for real, we all knew he could fight. Now, I did think Tank would get him up out of there. And I ain't gonna tell you no lie about that. I felt like it might have been a little back and forth about 5 or 6 rounds, but it ain't no way I thought he would do that good against Tank. I was definitely surprised at how well he did, but I also know Tank is a much better fighter than that. And I feel like if they fought again, it would be different. Now I also feel like it ain't a fight that he needs to take again, in my opinion. For what? I mean, whatever happened. What do he get out of fighting Lamar Roach? He ain't got no title. Tank is the big draw. Only thing he get is would it be a pride fight, a respect type fight? I mean, if you want to do that later, go ahead. But I feel like there's a much bigger fish to fry right now. And once again, Tank don't judge no fights. He ain't the referee. He in there fighting. So if it was a messed up scorecard or whatever the case may be, that ain't on him. It ain't. You can't put that shit on him. His job is to go in there and fight. He don't know what the hell the ref's gonna do. And they did what they did. If I'm him, after Jake Paul, I'm sure he's gonna take a break. I don't think he's gonna retire. I just don't see it. I think the same, it's just too much. Like he said, he got into the business because he needed money to get money. Okay. Ain't no such thing as enough money. There's no such thing as enough money. It ain't. So the fact that it's way more money that's out there on the table, trust me, he may sit home for 5 or 6 months, go out, taking trips, doing what rich people do, enjoying his money. And then he might sit back and think, shit, man, I'm spinning a grip right now. Let me go out here. You dudes trying to give me $10 million to fight Shakur. I'm just throwing out names and numbers. Man, let me go and fight this dude and go get this motherfucking money right quick. I mean, who gonna leave that kind of money? Like, even with Earl Spence. No, he ain't been in the ring for a while, but every time you see a picture of him, his ass is in shape. He in better shape than he was. He looked to be in better shape than he was when he was fighting along, back with him and what's that the little light skinned dude, Yellow Beezy or whatever, when he was hanging out with them, shit, he looked more he was more out of shape than he looked now on the pictures that I've seen of him. He looked nice and lean and fit ready. He looked like he ready to go at the drop of a dime. So he probably somewhere training and ain't telling nobody. He might be. Maybe he got a new trainer that he getting used to and just, keeping it close. That's a good possibility, but the point I'm making is I don't think none of these dudes who still can fight gonna leave this money on the table. Hell, the way Tim Bradley been exercising and working out make me think he might be trying to come back and get in one of these checks. Turkey Alashiki, paying good money. I think Andre Warlotti, motherfuckers thinking shit. These millions of dollars. This ain't no what you call it, no fundraisers and shit like this. These dudes getting paid real money for these exhibitions thanks to Floyd Mayweather. He started it as far as on a pay scale like this. Dudes was doing it, but they wasn't getting paid like this. Not that I remember. Floyd getting millions for his exhibitions. Millions. Shit, that's good money. To go out there and play around for a few rounds. shit, you can't beat that. Especially if you got enough in you and you can get in shape to go do it. Same way with Mike. Mike went out there and embarrassed himself for 20 million motherfucking dollars. You know damn well, that's just, you think Andre Ward and the rest of them don't want a piece of that action. Everybody that they call that used to box with the millions gonna be trying to do what they can to get their fat ass in shape and get back in that ring. So I don't really worry about Tank retiring. Like, I mean, when you heard it, when you hear it the first time, it's like a gut shot. Because, I know I'm a big fan of Tank. He was probably like number 2 or 3 on my list of favorite fighters. Still is. So when he said he was gonna retire, that shit hit me hard. I was like, damn, man, because I done co-signed a lot for Tank myself, I done been saying he'll beat this one, he'll beat that one. And I was hoping he'd stick around long enough to prove some of this shit right. And I still think he will. I don't think, I mean, I think I know he don't like the negative press he getting from that Lamont Roach fight. He don't like that at all. And I think that's got a lot to do with why he said what he said. Once again, because he came into this sport with working with the biggest guy in the sport, one of the most flamboyant and outgoing people in the sport, and shit. He been in that limelight for a long time now. Now, for a long time, he was protected in the limelight. Floyd shielded him from all this kind of stuff. It mostly hit Floyd and Leonard them more so than now that he on his own. He got to deal with all that shit himself now. Coach Calvin them ain't around enough for them. They ain't really into it like that. Coach Kenny is a little bit, but Calvin ain't. So Tank stuck out here, or looking at his social media and seeing all this negative shit, and he ain't used to it. When you've been getting all love, this hate probably is real uncomfortable for him. But what he gotta understand is this shit just a little phase that's gonna come and go. He just gotta go in there and get these motherfuckers something different than what he gave the last time he was in the ring. That's all it is. Boxing is a sport about what have you done for me lately. It's that type situation. So, you have a bad fight until you have a better one and erase that bad taste in people's mouth. It's gonna be like that for a little while, and this ain't nothing Tank should get used to. He shouldn't you don't want to get used to being on the losing end or people thinking legitimately that you lost a fight. So I think if nothing else, after this Jake Paul fight, if he do fight on, he gonna be 100% serious, and he ain't gonna take no chances. He gonna knock somebody. They get knocked the fuck out. Whoever get back in. Even Jake Paul might get it, but anybody they get knocked out, Tank ain't gonna play with nobody no more. Ain't gonna be no more take it easy. I don't think he gonna do no more cherry, trying to high level cherry picking. I think he coming out and start whooping these motherfuckers' ass when he come back. I just think I believe the negative press that got on his nerves, and after the Jake Paul fight, he may not even retire at all. I think, but if he do, I think he'll be gone a year tops. A year, that's as long as there ain't no way. Like he said, he got into it for money. Well, he's still young. He's still in good shape, and there's still plenty more money out there. And trust me, there's no such thing as enough money. Some people, you might be good, you might be real straight, but if some more money out there to be got, you're going. That's no. I don't think there's no such thing as enough money. I don't. I just think, people you handle what you have, but I ain't never heard of I just don't think it's enough money, man. That go for me and everybody else I know. Everybody that set a financial goal, once they achieve it, you gonna think about more. I mean, it's natural. I mean, and you don't even have to, and it ain't about greed. It's just about, that's just how it is. You know, no, you might not go out there and kill yourself to get no more, but you ain't gonna turn no more down either. And that's all I'm saying. I ain't nowhere near. Just like with Spence, he been out for a while, but he never just came right out and say it's over. Too much damn money out here. He coming to get some more of his change. All of until they can't fight no more. Most of them, they're gonna be out here fighting. It's very few Andre Wards and Joe Calzaghes out here. It ain't a whole bunch of them. It you know they evidently had their reasons for leaving early and on top, but most people and they gonna stick around until and the sport gonna have to retire them. Most people because especially it's just too much money and the average fighter once they take a real break, they start realizing soon there ain't nothing I can do that's going to get close to this kind of money. So that's why most of them fight on for so long. So like I say, man, if Tank want to take a break, however he want to do it, I'm all for it. But I ain't really worried about him retiring no more. After I really sat down and talked about it, after I saw that interview that Terrence Crawford made, it made me think about Tank and probably how he feeling right now. And I think it's a phase he going through. I think he might take a long break after that Jake Paul fight, but I think he gonna fight on. It's like he said, he got in it for the money. Well, the money's still out there, and I don't think he gonna turn this kind of money down. Not long anyway. But that's it for me on this video. If you like the video, like and subscribe. Till next time, it's your boy Spill Dog. I'm out.